Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys, I'm going to profile a very, very old secret rare that, if you're an old school player, you've probably seen this. If you've watched the anime, you've probably seen this card. But, it's not really played in the meta, really. And that is Serpent Knight Dragon. This came out of Metal Raiders, I believe it was. I think it was Metal Raiders it came out of. Yeah, because it was Serpent Knight Dragon or Thousand Eyes Dragon you got out of your boxes back then, if I remember correctly. Or I think actually it could have been Magic Ruler. I think it was Metal Raiders. I forget off the top of my head, so I do apologize. But one of the first three, it was Metal Raiders or Magic Ruler, I forget. But it was a secret rare you could pull out of a box, and so it was worth a little bit more money back then. So if you guys don't know the story behind this, in the anime, Rex Raptor has this card. And this card, he pretty much states he won it in a tournament. It's a very rare card. Not as rare as Red Eyes, but it's, it's a rare card in the anime. It's a prize card, I guess you could say. So, one day, at Toys R Us, and this is back when the first 3 sets were out, minimal I think it was, so we were up to Magic Ruler, known as Spell Ruler. Toys R Us decided to give away a couple prizes, like a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh packs you could win, and things of that nature at Toys R Us, and first place got a secret rare Serpent Knight Dragon, because that was technically in the show, quote unquote, a prize card. Okay, that's cool. So first place got a Serpent Knight Dragon, this one right here. So I was like, oh, cool, awesome. I'll enter this tournament. And back then, the main deck I had, and by then I had already been playing at locals, so I knew what I was doing with the game, because we're talking like it's 2003, early 2003, I would say. So I had a grasp on the game and whatnot, and I had a beatdown deck at the time. Pretty much, I remember running 7 Colored Fish, La Jin, Neo the Magical Swordsman, just a beatdown strategy with Summon Skull, and Jinzo wasn't even out yet, so it was mainly just Summon Skull at the time. So it was a very early beatdown deck with, just a basic flip effect monsters like Magician of Faith to get your power cards back in your hand. Very, 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 very basic. Rudimentary stuff, which, back when turns, games lasted 15, 20 turns sometimes. So, yeah. Very basic stuff. So I go through the tournament. I do not remember my tournament results. I remember I faced a couple people that were trying to summon Blue Eyes and Dark Magician, because that was what everybody did back then. Mind you, I was 12 years old at the time. I was in this tournament, so I was right at the age limit. I remember the age limit was like 13 or 14. And I was like, yeah, I sneak in there, so I'll have all that experience as being an adult. So I go into the bracket and I win my first game. I remember I was playing against Blue Eyes. People played Blue Eyes, Dark Magician. A couple of my friends entered that were under right around the age gap, and they entered and they played with decks they had. Like, they had a lot of beatdown decks, and we got to the final match. I remember at Toys R Us, and I believe this was Toys R Us in Manassas, Virginia. It's still there to this day. I know exactly where it's at. It's over near the battlefield, but yeah, they used to have they used to have matches there. It was so cool back in the day. But yeah, I went in, we battled, we got to the final round, and I'm sitting there against one of my buddies. I think it actually wasn't. No, he lost to him. Excuse me. So my buddy lost to this random kid that came in. He was about probably 10, 12 years old, and he had some type of beatdown deck. I think it was. I can't remember, but he had a lot of the powerful. What I remember was he had some powerful spell cards that I did not have necessarily. Things like his deck was more like an equip spell deck. So let's equip Axe of Despair to a Legion. So I got a 28 beat stick. So that was his philosophy, while mine was just pure aggression beatdown. So that's what his deck was. Using like Manassas. I used Malevolent Nuzzler to get over things, but that's what he did. And it was a grindy match, and I'll never forget how I won that match. I remember he had I believe it was a Legend of Mystical Genie equipped with an Axe of Despair and he was about to kill me for game, and I had I think it was a Neo the Magical Swordsman. He had 15,000 life points left, so 1,500. I top deck a Dark Hole. I Dark Hole the field, and I attacked with Neo the Magical Swordsman. I was afraid of a Mirror Force, but he didn't have Mirror Force, and I won the game that way. That's how I won, and I won this card from that. So this was from, really, even though I went to locals at the time, I hadn't won locals, and that was back when locals, if you're an old school player, you remember if you went to locals and whatnot, at certain locals, like official Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament stores, they had the big Millennium Puzzle. That's what we used to duel for back in the day. Like it was like a big wooden, I think it was made of wood. It wasn't gold, that would be awesome, but it was like a big Millennium Puzzle. And if you won, you could take it home, and then every month, I think, like, you could win it. So I was in a store like that setting back then when I was younger, and I won it one time, I remember that, but that's beside the point. But this was the first tournament I ever won, and it meant so much to me. I was like, oh yeah, I got Serpent Knight Dragon Secret Rare, oh my gosh, I won. And that was back before, I had money and everything. I had to build decks, with money from packs that I pulled, from trades, so it felt so awesome to go into a tournament setting, even though I'm 12 years old at the time, and be like, yeah, beat face, woo! Like, that feeling is awesome, even if it's at Toys R Us. So, it was just an awesome feeling to go in and win. I win a Serpent Knight Dragon, which was considered a prize card back in the day. I don't know if other Toys R Us did that, but that was the main prize card. I got some packs. One of the cards that I did pull out of one of my packs was a Snatch and Steal First Ed, which I still have to this day, but he's in my Goat Control deck. But this thing was the awesome thing. I even, for a time, mind you, I built another fun deck. So I had my Blue Eyes deck, and then, just for fun, trying to bring out Blue Eyes White Dragon with tribute fodder with like Nimble and things of that nature, so you can trip off the Nimble. This is like the first 3 sets, mind you, so you can get your Blue Eyes White Dragon out. So I decided to use Lord of D with Flute Summoning Dragon and just throw Serpent Knight Dragon in the deck along with Blue Eyes White Dragon. So I had 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, Serpent Knight Dragon, Komori Dragon, which was a dark level 4 1,500 dragon monster. So I just threw this in there for fun, and I used to go Flute Summoning Dragons when I summon Lord of D, bring out a Blue Eyes and a Serpent Knight Dragon. Yes! And it has one of those weird stat lines too, if you ever looked at Serpent Knight Dragon. It has 2,350 attack. That's a really weird stat line. First off, there are cards out there that say 2,300 attack, but usually I've noticed throughout the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! As time is going on, you see 2,400 or you see 2,500. But this has 2,300, and then it has 2,350, and then it has 2,400 defense. But the card artwork is very nice. The card I've always kept in a sleeve of some sort over the years, but it's near mint. I've had this gem forever. I love it to pieces. It looks so beautiful. Just the dark artwork of Sinister Serpent with the red background. I mean, it looks gorgeous, I think. I know they were very rare to pull back then, but I haven't, of all the trade binders and everything I've gone throughout my Yu-Gi-Oh! Career, not since probably 2007, I think it was, have I seen a Serpent Knight Dragon somebody has. That's in near mint condition. I've seen them bent and torn and ripped and every conceivable fashion. I apologize about the background noise. But yeah, Serpent Knight Dragon, such a beautiful card, and I'm so happy to tell that story finally. It was a fun time back in the day, just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Back then when you were a kid, and you just had to cobble together different cards and decks. And even though I was trying to be competitive because I understood how the game worked, I understood how the mechanics worked. You don't just normal summon Blue Eyes White Dragon, but yeah, I won that with at one of my first tournaments I entered. It was the first tournament I ever won, and I won with a beatdown strategy, and it was just awesome. And yeah, I just have good memories of that day. That was a very fun day at Toys R Us. I actually probably could take you to the spot where the table was at still. at that Toys R Us, because they probably remodeled, but I'd be like, okay, this is the exact spot. But till next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. I hope you guys all enjoyed this little card story of Serpent Knight Dragon. Take care, everybody, and good luck dueling to all of you.